what I believe is this is not something which has happened with me, or this is not something which is happening right now. This is something, which is already deep rooted in this society, and I believe that it is due to, because Islamophobia is so rampant across the globe these days. It is
Sister Ghazala, can you hear us? Sister Ghazala,
not
can you hear us? I think we're having
because
a streaming issue here. Sister Ghazala, can you hear us?
of
Let me just speak to Ziad. We seem to be
me
having a network issue. Okay, I have you back there. Go ahead.
asking.
Let me just see what we can do there. So basically, from what Sister Ghazala has said now, that she suspects it's due to the Islamophobia that is prevalent everywhere, both in India and across the world as well. So let me just see if I got you back there. I lost you momentarily. Sister Ghazala, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, so as we can see, given the situation we are in, we can see, ahead of the, and everyone is aware of what has happened in India in recent few months. If we talk about anti-CEA protests, we witnessed few things that Muslims were denied of living in the colonies as tenants. They were denied of the rented houses. Vendors were they used to check the identity cards of the vendors, who came to sell their fruits. So it is not something which is only related to educated people. Islamophobia is so deep rooted that it applies to everyone. It applies to the educated part also. It applies to the uneducated also. I mean, I don't understand this practice of not recruiting
We seem to be losing Sister Ghazala again through network issues. So if Sister Ghazala is hearing me now, what I need to know is this type of discrimination solely focused on Muslims, or it's a general discrimination? So I'd like to ask her that if somebody who observed the Sikh religion, and I know in the Sikh religion the males have to wear the turban at all times. So if somebody who applied for a job then says, I'm Sikh and I wear a turban, would that be a problem then for them to adorn their turban in the workplace? Because she was told she can adorn the hijab for this job here, which has nothing to do with her competency. So if somebody who observes uh, the Sikh religion and observes the donning of the turban, will they be discriminated against? Because I'm just trying to understand, is it a general discrimination of not wearing your religious dressing, cultural symbols, things like this, or is it just focus, is this discrimination purely towards adorning the hijab and Muslim dress code? So as soon as we're trying to raise Sister Ghazala Ahmad on a conventional line. So as soon as we get her on the line there, I want to ask her that how is it for Sikh people? Are they able, is it difficult for them as well? Ghazala, are you with me?
Yeah.
Ghazala, did you hear my question?
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, exactly. This was my question to. From your platform, I'm putting this question to all the media persons in India, and also to all the media in India and in other countries. Who discriminate people on the
Sister
of
Ghazala, let
their
me
yeah of
see.
India.
Okay, I really want to continue this interview. Let me see if Ziad can get you on a landline. because we seem to be having a lot of network issues from where you are. So let's just see if we can. I really, really want to pursue this conversation. So let me see if Ziad can raise you on a landline and we come back, because this is certainly, we've got Sister Ghazala. Ghazala, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're better now. So you can go ahead and like you say, I'm providing the platform. Well, we providing the platform here on Salam Media. So you said you want to put it out there to all the media houses.
Okay, yeah. This was my question to them. Like, yeah, this is something, this is something. Why is it so that all these things are limited for a particular community? All these things applies to a particular community. I mean, when a Hindu girl or someone who wears sari regularly, or someone who put up the bindi on her forehead, I mean, do they ask that person that we cannot practice this thing on our TV channel? I mean, if I talk particularly about media, why is it so that these things are limited only for Muslims? So this thing, I mean, if you are saying that, do they ask people to remove turban or do they ask people to remove bindi? This is not something, applied to all the religions. This is something what I believe is, they have reserved it only for Muslims. Whenever we try to, assert our identity as a Muslim, they put certain parameters, they put certain conditions that we have to go through them.
Yes, so this is systematic discrimination geared at only one sector of the Indian population, and that is the Muslims, especially for female Muslims who wish to adorn hijab in the workplace. So this is systematic discrimination that is happening currently in India, which prides itself to the world in terms of we are the one of the largest democratic nations in the world, and yet Sister Ghazala is evidence that discrimination is clearly when and alive in the workplace, in media, also in media houses. Media houses are supposed to be places where you are neutral. You are putting forward issues. Media houses set agendas, changes agendas, and changes the sentiment. This is where it's happening. So for a media house to have actually said, if you don a hijab, you're not able to work here, this is shocking, because this is where agendas change. And now it looks like agendas are being set, because this is the precedent being set at media houses. Very, very shocking coming out from India at the moment, which is now so-called one of the largest democracies in the world. Sister Ghazala is still there?
Hello?
Sister Ghazala, yeah, can you hear me? I just said that, this is even more shocking to me, because you are now denied observing your hijab at a media house. So just not even at a corporation, but at a media house.
Exactly. See, I mean, journalism is not. Journalism is not only a profession, but when it comes to applying it on the field, it is more of a responsibility. While studying
Absolutely.
journalism, while studying media, I mean, we are taught that we are not going to do any kind of discrimination on the basis of religion, on the basis of any cultural practice. We are going to abide by certain things that promote human rights. And if we talk about particularly India, media is, considered as the fourth pillar of the democracy, which have all the responsibility of, propagating the democracy and giving the example that we are exactly a we are actually a democracy. So yeah, when it comes to we as a Muslims, when we are going on a field, why is it so? I mean, my only question is this: that why is it so that when it comes to us, when it comes to Muslims, why is it so that we have to go through all this? My only fight to just bash this discriminatory practice of not employing Muslims with the Muslim identity. My question is my fight is, my fight is actually mindset versus practice. My fight is not, I am not getting a job, or this portal did this thing to me. My fight is basically, to bash this mindset which forces a Muslim to undermine their own religious values.
Yes, lots of questions to be asked, to be answered, and that is why here at Salam Media, your online humanitarian journalism portal, we providing you the platform to highlight your struggle, especially as a journalist. As you have correctly said, when you're studying journalism, you are taught there's no room for discrimination, no room for racism. You actually there to channel the cause, to report on these type of issues. As a journalist, I am now reporting on this issue you faced, and you are a colleague, and you are a colleague faced with this type of discrimination from a media house. So this is actually very worrying, because it's coming from media houses who are now setting agendas here, extremely concerning, especially in a large democracy like India, and something to be brought forth. I'm not sure if India has, in South Africa, we have exceptionally great Chapter 9 institutions, as well as human rights, equality courts, where we can bring issues like this. Of an issue like of this nature would definitely, we have avenues where we can take these cases and bring it there. We can even take it to the constitutional, because this is now infringement on constitutional rights. So tell me, in India, are you able to pursue it with maybe a Chapter 9 institution, or a human rights body, or an equality court, or even take this to the constitutional court? Because in South Africa, yes, there are discriminatory practices. Racism is still well alive, but we have avenues where we can highlight this. Becomes law binding, because we have constitutional courts. We can take this to equality courts, as well as we have many non-government organizations that channel the cause for a non-racial, non-discriminatory South Africa. So in India, what recourse do you have?
Exactly. If we talk about Constitution of India, Article 25 talks about that every individual have the right to profess, propagate, and practice their religion. So, as you can see, ahead of the anti-CAA protest, and before that also, there are certain things. I mean, Muslims are being targeted for doing several things. I mean, why is it so that, I mean, I don't understand this thing. What has an establishment to do, what an individual is going to do in their personal life? It is not only about we practicing our religious practices, but also about individuality. I mean, why is it so that we are kept on a surveillance, that what Muslims are going to eat, what Muslims are going to wear, in which jobs they are going to get admission, in which institutions they are going to study? So this should not be the concern of any kind of establishment.
We're going to leave it at there. If you have any further news in terms of maybe they had a change of heart in terms of the discriminatory practice, or you've taken this to another higher authority and appeal this discriminatory practice, please do keep us informed. But thank you for coming on air, having the courage to highlight your issue, and wish you well. And we are with you in our support and our prayers, our du'as, in terms of your fight against discrimination, because your fight is not just the fight of Ghazala Ahmad, but your fight is for the fight for all Muslim females in India who'd like to go out there and work but still observe the hijab, whether they're an educator, they are a journalist, they are a nurse, whatever profession they would like to be on, they'd still like to come contribute to Indian society, at the same time observing their hijab. So your fight is for all Indian sisters in India and everywhere else everywhere around the world where Muslim sisters are being discriminated against because they adorn their hijab in the workplace. So we wish you courage, we wish you strength, and all the best. And please do keep us posted if there is any turn of events regarding this case, Sister Ghazala Ahmad from India.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam.
That was this journalist, young upcoming, aspiring journalist, Ghazala Ahmad. And she is an Indian-based journalist who experienced her first taste of discrimination when she landed a job. Everything was discussed, and the moment she said, I adorn in hijab, alarm bells, oops, sorry, no job for you if you are wearing your hijab. And I can't believe in democratic countries, things, such discriminatory practices they still occur. But I admire her courage. And Musaibia Umar Habib Shinsky says, maaf if I mispronounced your surname, mashallah as well, that she is courageous enough to write about it, bring this to the platform. I have Farhana Hajat, who is also commenting, mashallah, as well, in terms of this young, impressionable journalist for her bravery. And here at Salam Media, we will support her in terms of her fight to eliminate this type of discrimination, because that is what we do and what we stand for. And this is your platform. If you suffered any type of discrimination, please share it with us. You can email me, Mia at Salam Media, and we will provide you with your platform to highlight your struggles. And let's see if this will be an instrument or catalyst for change. With that, I leave you until tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Lying here wide awake on my own now. Silence is the loudest cry. I'm safe, but I've lost everything I've known.